All right, so I'm doubling up this week because I had an experience the other night at one of our family groups where I came to a crossroads because I kept hearing people talk, and they were talking a lot about heroin, and they were talking about younger people, and they were talking about being caught in the grips of addiction, and it was going around in the group, and people were trying to come up with answers, and good-intentioned people were saying things like, we got to wait till they hit bottom, and there's nothing you can do, and in the way the system is set up, there really is no other answer. And to tell you what, I can't take it. I can't deal with it. It's wrong. Now, I don't blame lay people for saying that. I don't blame self-help groups for saying that. But in the professional world, we have got to come up with another solution. We are doing it wrong. We are doing it fundamentally wrong. So I read a story in this book that is very interesting. This book it's called How to Fly a Horse. Sorry, you can't see it. And it's just about like inventions and creative things over the decades and the years. And so 1846, there's in Vienna, there's a clinic, and 60% of the mothers that are coming into this clinic to give childbirth are dying, and the baby's dying, and there's a fever that they would get. And this is way before they really understood things about germs and stuff like that. And there was a man named Ignaz Semmelweis. He was a doctor in the clinic, and he started to look around, and back then doctors never washed their hands, and it had to do with the philosophy of medicine, and they were 100% sure that they were right about it. They were 100% sure that this was the way to do it. And Semmelweis said, you know what, why don't we start washing our hands? Maybe there's something going on here that's contributing to these deaths. And they started washing their hands, and the death rate went down to zero. But you want to know what happened? Because the established medical community knows so much. And again, this was 1846, but how different is it in 2016? And in this case, it's not just the healthcare system, it's also addiction treatment providers. It's the whole system, if you will. And I am fired up. So he gets people to wash their hands, and the death rate goes down to zero. And you want to know what the medical community said? We don't understand why that's happening, and that's not how we're supposed to do it, so we're not washing our hands. And it shot back up by 600%. Semmelweis wound up dying in a lunatic asylum because they were so sure he was crazy with this crazy theory he put forward. Well, here's what I'm saying. We need to start washing our hands in the clinic. We have got to find a fundamentally different way of looking at this thing. You are a scumbag addict, and you need to realize that and admit you're a scumbag addict. Come to rehab. Do exactly what we say, and if you don't, you screwed up. And, whatever it is, do 90 meetings in 90 days, do 100, whatever it is that the person says. If you don't do it exactly that way, you're done. And then if something happens, we'll wait for you to come back. And we'll sit back and say, maybe the pain just needs to get greater. I can't tell you, any organization I am part of will not do that. And if that means I wind up living in a van down by the river, then that's fine. I'll live in a van down by the river. Because it's so fundamentally wrong. It's the equivalent of not washing your hands before surgery. We should not be waiting for people to show up. We should not be creating these environments where the pain has to get greater before the person seeks help. All right, I'm sorry if I come off a little tight today, but when I have these interactions and I have these experiences, it bothers me. It stays in my head. So, I had to get this out so I feel better. Let's do a little real quick, kind of like yoga type shit. Oh, yeah, you feel that? Oh, yeah, calming down. Oh, yeah, mellow. Have a great day today.